Okay. There's a piece of equipment that I'm trying to get to work, and I'm able to monitor it, but for whatever reason, it's not feeding through uh, the computer, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully, I've got audio now, because if I don't, this is going to be a really short live stream. Um, I'll show you what the trouble is, if I can clear all this crap out of the way. Now, I've been trying to get this piece of equipment to work for a month, and it doesn't seem to want to work properly. So, it's one of these things where, you know, you try and it fails. But eventually, I'm going to get this thing worked out. Find out why I can hear myself in the headset when I'm talking on the other headphone, but I can't get the thing to come into the room because it's got some options on there. I can use applause. Uh, it's a noise machine, but it doesn't seem to want to make any noise. And so again, welcome everybody. Hello, Levi. Glad to see you here. And one of the reasons I came on, um, because I really didn't have much of a topic to talk about tonight, but all right, I'm going to get rid of that standby message I put up. But there's a new bit of discovery that came out in the Neely Blanchard case. Not too much. I've had a rather strange conversation over on Telegram. It's been a little entertaining and kind of gets into the character or lack thereof of certain people. But anyway, um, I did my check on the Neely Blanchard case, and new discovery has come out Friday. And basically reads something like this. Um, Comes now the state of Florida by and through the undersigned Assistant State Attorney and files this supplemental response to notice of discovery previously supplied. And basically, it's names and addresses of what are apparently going to be witnesses in the Blanchard trial. Matthew Bradshaw of the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. Now, this is Valdosta, Georgia, so they're going to be testifying about the arrest. And as I stated earlier, the state of Florida state of Georgia has sent to Florida all the body cam footage, arrest reports, warrant for arrest, and that sort of thing. Also from Valdosta, we have Nathaniel A. Law, Joshua A. Parker, and then from Marion County, we have Matthew A. Porter. From Lowndes County again, we have Craig A. Roby, and again from Lowndes County, we have Ryan Willis. Now, this is all the law enforcement officers that are apparently going to testify with that. Leanne, you said back up. I don't know what your comment is about. Welcome to the live stream tonight. And basically, that is all I have. Now, we had previously, I'm going to go back and get that. And this thing is making me search all over again. So let me do that. Okay, let's see. Search. And again, good evening, Leanne. Welcome to the live stream. Now, prior to that, on the 26th, the state had come out with a supplemental discovery list, and I went into this briefly earlier in the week. And basically, it says media file from Lowndes County, Georgia. 4 photographs of search warrant and 5 body cam videos. Now, this apparently means that when they show the body cam video, it's going to be from each arresting officer at the time that Neely Blanchard was approached and put under arrest. So I had to answer, somebody asked a question and I had to answer it. That's a possibility, Michael. Now, so far, there has been no discovery with his name mentioned, but we are a long ways off, and it's been made abundantly clear from some anonymous sources that the E-Clause story is going to come out in court, and it's going to be partially by the defense. The prosecution is going to touch on it a little bit, and bringing out the motive for why Neely Blanchard killed him. So I'm having a bit of a memory block today. It happens in old age. But the murder was motivated by E-Clause and the representation that they were helping Neely get her children back, and that turned out to be completely wrong. Well, I'm glad you came in, Leanne. The show is recorded so you can watch. I hope you feel better, but rest is more important than anything, so get your rest, and you're welcome back at any time. So let me get all this out of the way. Having a very busy night tonight. Yes, Timothy was also mentioned. There is a witness list or a potential witness list that has a lot of names on it that has not been disclosed to the general public as of yet. So it's, a lot of stuff. The Anthony case was famous for having a lot of discovery come in. I mean, there was over 1,000 pages of material discovery that was never used in the trial. In retrospect, the amount of discovery that was used in the trial turned out to be minimal at best. So, there's no telling what is and is not going to be brought into court when this goes on trial. Now, the Cynthia Absug trial is on schedule to start late this spring. I believe it's in mid-May. And the Blanchard trial is going to start in April. And again, I will be up there for the duration of that trial. What I am not certain of as of yet is if I am going up to the EBSUG trial. It's going to be a question of expenses and my schedule at that time. I normally have a very, very heavy schedule during the spring. So it's going to uh, have to see where I stand when it gets that time of the year. Sorry about the hair. The headphones playing, giving me the alfalfa look, and that didn't do. You ever tried using a monitor as a mirror? It does not work. Um, so, got a little bit of weirdness going on over on my other side of the monitor, so if I get distracted, that's why. This is a situation I've been dealing with for the last several hours. It just shows you how strange it gets into how strange the internet is. Uh, and it's something I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Because it's just more of the same over there. Yeah, that's what I figured. So anyway, that's basically where we're going here. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on. Um, there is a case in Columbus, Ohio that I might be looking into that it was brought to my attention. I'm going to do some research on that and some other things that I'm looking into in order to try and get more mainstream as to the content of this channel. And so you're going to have to be patient. Um, yeah, I kind of figured this is a message to my friend over on the other thing. I see that you tuned in, so you're not as dumb as you claim to be, at least in that respect. So, yeah, well, what I'm doing, Levi, is I am getting back to my original intent with this channel. I got sidetracked with issues that really aren't important, and thus I have decided that it's time to get back on track. My intent is to cover um, trials of interest and things of interest to the general public as a whole. True crime community mainly, stuff about Florida, um, things of a more conventional, mainstream um, area. And so gradually I'm working over that way. I have to try and work around this unbelievably heavy schedule I have, but I will try and do what I can. And, I'm filling in a little bit of time here while waiting for uh, the Blanchard and AdSug trials to come about. Um, there's a case out of California that I might be looking into, and like I said, the one in Ohio, and maybe a couple others. It's just, one of these things uh, that need to be looked into. Yeah, I'm not going to be discussing Telegram too much tonight. I might get into some interesting things tomorrow on the Truthathon at this same time, so stay tuned for that. Um, I'm trying to separate these two areas of discussion so that this channel doesn't get polluted any more than it already has been by these people. So we're going to kind of keep things compartmentalized here and go at it that way. Let's see. As usual. See, the problem with this time of the year is there really isn't a whole hell of a lot to talk about. So it's kind of, this isn't a professional news organization where I've got all kinds of news feeds and network contacts and all that to try and hone in on things. But one thing I'm looking at, I'm going over on Facebook. Okay, I'll check into that one later. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it on here because this is an ongoing. And I never said that I was an expert live streamer or anything like that. I am doing this basically the same reason a lot of other people do this is they just like to get on YouTube and discuss things with a small audience. I don't ever intend to equate myself with someone as professional as CNN or even Levi, who does a hell of a lot better job than I do with this sort of thing. And if anybody has not done so, I would encourage you to seek out and subscribe to Levi's channel because he has far more network resources than I have, and he does a much better job of live streaming. Okay, I'm not seeing what I want to see. There's been some developments in what is known as the Ken Hoagland case or something like that. I have a habit of mispronouncing his name, and this has been ongoing for quite some time, and it's a true crime case, and I am going to be looking into this more because there's a lot of things that are coming to fore with that case. A lot of paperwork with the courts going around, all kinds of things, and so that's going to be something to. Okay, and I just had a website crash. I don't know why. Oh, that's rather interesting. I'm wondering why I've got the topic tomorrow is going to be impersonation and fraud and other matters dealing with a certain individual who we all know, and a lot of lying again. And I just had something come up. That's interesting. Apparently, I got a message that somebody thinks I'm lying about Neely Blanchard. Well, then perhaps that individual can explain why Neely Blanchard is sitting in jail right now, and why a certain founder of E-Clause is no longer living and breathing. Clearly it's somebody that's not familiar with the case and not familiar with why it is alleged that Neely Blanchard uh, executed the guy. And she even stated so in an interview with the FBI. Uh, Now, if there is a different story to be told when it comes to Neely Blanchard, this is going to come out in the trial. I mean, she is presumed innocent until proven guilty. She has a defense. They are going to plead temporary insanity, and she has stated, I believe, that she in fact killed him. So, um, we shall see. Well, I appreciate the positive press. I mean, when you go on the internet, you're going to make enemies. It's just the way it goes. So, people can choose to tune into this channel, and they can choose not to tune into this channel. I find it interesting that people that don't believe anything I say comes over here, but it's a free country, and as long as people behave themselves, they can at least listen. There's certain people that are not going to be allowed in here. Excuse me, I'm just reading something. But it's weird what people put their priorities in. They make statements about me that are clearly false, like one was just all right, the topic for tomorrow is going to be problems in the world according to Timmy, and some freaks that are over there, and just and we're going to get into a conversation that basically is still ongoing. That's why I keep looking over at my phone, is because there's somebody making some rather weird comments, and I'm going to reserve those comments until tomorrow night. Um, it's somebody who doesn't know his a-hole from a hole in the ground and who likes to stalk people. And so we're going to get in. There's quite a few things that I'm going to try and get into tomorrow. There's been some interesting things going on all week. And so it's, we'll see what happens. You can tune in and see what all the hubbub's about. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm going to get into some of this stuff tomorrow. Well, uh, I'm going to get into that tomorrow. Apparently, a warrant has turned up that I wasn't aware about, and I'm going to get into that a little bit tomorrow, among some other details that came up rather out of the blue. And I'm reserving that until tomorrow because it's going to be presented. There's a couple of felony convictions that I'm going to exhibit and so forth. So that is tomorrow's topic. As some of you know, he said something to the effect that Craig Sawyer was falsely accusing him of having a felony conviction, and sure enough, in the court records, he has 2 felony convictions, and I'm going to get into those tomorrow because they're rather interesting. So there's that to look forward to. So it's let's pull that. Well, if and when that happens, I'll be glad to interview him. Uh, the thing is, he has the right to refuse an interview. So far, people have offered to interview him, and he has turned it down. Um, he claims he's making some weird claim, and I might get into that a little bit tomorrow. But it's the same old stuff we have where people are making claims that's simply not true. There's a post that went up tonight on a certain um, website, and it's making false claims yet again. And it's basically speculated that the account that he is claiming to be threatening him is one that he actually created, or possibly an individual out of California that is an ardent supporter of his has uh, uh, decided to make the fake account in order to give him something to play victim about. You know that that just brings up this constant um, kind of puzzle here, because for someone that's supposed to be under uh, protection and all this, goes to a very public place and takes pictures of himself in front of a sign in Atlanta, Georgia. It's stuff like this that makes you scratch your head, and I'm going to get into great detail about some of these antics tomorrow. Because there's been some pretty strange stuff going on over there, and um, and it's funny that they are paying. Oh my God! I went down to one user. What happened? Oh, that's weird. Everybody went bye bye. Well, that's. Well, I think I'm going to close out. I don't know what's going on with this, but the thing that's trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. We had a technical difficulty, and not sure why this happened. I'm going to check something real quick, so bear with me. Uh, the internet's been acting kind of crazy tonight. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. It went to 1, and now it's back up to 16 again. This happens from time to time with my account. But what's interesting is that someone over on that channel is extraordinarily interested in what I'm saying here. This huge channel with 16 people watching, and he or she is included in that, are giving a play-by-play over on that other channel. And what's going to be interesting is to see what their reaction is going to be tomorrow night, because I have documentation to back up what I will be talking about tomorrow night. And so if they have an issue, they can take it up with the state of Minnesota, and specifically with the city of East Grand Forks, Minnesota, to be specific. And there's some rather interesting information that's come out of that county. that these people apparently have not bothered to check. And uh, I have mentioned this several times before, and nobody even wants to discuss it. They just want to ignore anything that has to do with this particular subject. And so, what's been going on is I have been in communication with this particular agency, and I found out quite a bit of information. And some of it I'm going to be bringing out on tomorrow night's live stream. And, to kind of dispute what's being posted over on the other channel as I speak. Um, if this information was false, they are more than willing, more than welcome to prove it is false. But there has been no proof given as of yet. And so we wait and see. But, the one thing I have found about the other side is they absolutely are not doing anything about crimes against children. They basically are posting pornography and images of people that have nothing to do with anything. It's classic stalking, gaslighting, whatever you want to call it. And, it's just, this is where these people's priorities are. And there's one thing that's kind of interesting that has come up that I can discuss tonight, and that is this ongoing war between Lynn Wood and General Flynn. There seems to be a division of loyalties. One side likes General Flynn, the other side likes Lynn Wood. And each side is calling the other out. And there are also some other groups that are fighting with each other. So there is a lot of splintering going on in this so-called patriot movement. Everybody accusing each other of being the deep state and all this. These people are extremely paranoid. And it's going to have its inevitable result. This is the same thing that brought down Anonymous. It's bringing down QAnon, and it's eventually going to bring down these people, because paranoia is a very destructive state to be in. Now, I don't take sides with Lynn or with Flynn, but this is getting into politics, so I tend to stay away from that, with the exception that there is this big battle going on between these two factions. And it's, in some ways, it's costing people's credibility, because supporters on one side go after another. It's funny. While I'm on the air, this weirdo is posting to me over on Telegram. Paula loves children. Okay, I'll put this up. Yeah, I've been following that one. I am a bit surprised that she basically turned on him. She was one of his supporters, from what I understand, and that kind of fell apart. So there's been that going on. There's been a back and forth over there about someone called Butterfly Mama, who is also a big supporter of his. And there's been this back and forth between the person running that particular chat. Well, that seems to be the general belief, Glow. Huh. Just so you know, this is the kind of stuff they put out. This is the substance of their. Uh, Someone over there is stating about us, quote, all of Mert's friends are criminals, adulterers, sluts, drunks, and sloppy punks. Now, this is supposed to be a group that is fighting child abuse, child trafficking, child pornography, and yet they're over here acting like thugs in the sandbox. Uh, with this weird name calling, false accusations, character assassinations, uh, posting private information about people, posting private images that they have no business possessing in this domestic terrorist area. Yeah, this is the kind of people we have out here now, and the internet has given these people this power to just act like bullies and so on. Normal people always call their handle loves children. Chloe, what is that about? I see you're one from the other side. Um, so I'm not understanding your comment. Um, uh, I don't know much about Butterfly Mama, except for she's having issues over there. There's been a big. Okay, Chloe. Understood. Uh, but there's been a argument going on over there having to do with the way that channel is run, whether or not there's support uh, for Timmy and so forth. It's rather. Okay, I don't know what that's about. So. Oh, okay. But I know they don't. There's been a lot of negative activity in regards to her, and why. I'm not sure of the origin of all these arguments, but it's been a big back and forth between several people over there. Um, okay, there's a question being asked of me in another area. Why do you befriend Beta makes with chubby thighs that wears. Oh, that's more personal attacks. See, this is all this individual is capable of is uh, gaslighting people. And one thing I noticed there's on both Telegram and on um, BitChute, there's a horrendous amount of anti-Semitism, bigotry, and racism. These are white supremacists over there, and it's clear from the posts that are being made over there, the fact that the administrators of these um, various channels don't regulate it. And, rather than get into a mature discussion over there, it's personal attacks against people that they disagree with. That's all these people are capable of. And uh, crazy is an understatement. These are people that generally are not accepted in society. They're rejected because they have extreme personal issues. Some of them are substance abusers, and some of them are pretenders. Uh, if you do backgrounds on some of these people, you will find that there are actually pedophiles over there pretending to be against pedophilia. And, you know, a 5 minute check with various uh, law enforcement agencies would clearly indicate that the individuals that they are letting into their lair, so to speak, are pedophiles. But they totally ignore that. Ooh, somebody doesn't like me because of my politics. That's par for the course. The problem with society today, and in this country in particular, is that rather than coming together for a common cause, we're all hiding behind our political spectrum. If you're a supporter of one political party, then the others are going to reject you. If they support an individual that you disagree with, you're going to reject them. And what's happening is nothing is getting accomplished. There's a lot of stuff going on that needs to be taken care of that's getting stopped because of this division. Oh, well, that's Chloe, I can understand that argument. It's getting into politics to some extent, but I understand the point. Uh, the problem with this country today is we can't come together for a common cause. We have to have all these political divisions, and it's out of control, and it's disappointing, and it's leading to the end of this country as we know it. I don't know what the future of this country is, to be honest with you. I don't have much hope for it because it's going down a very, very slippery road here. If we can't come together as a country, we're screwed. And our enemies are loving this. So I don't care what side of the fence you're on politically. But, if these sides can't work together to solve common problems, then we're done. Period. And Khrushchev will be doing the happy dance because he's gotten exactly what he wanted. And there's been predicted that we're going to destroy ourselves from within, and that's exactly what we're doing. So, these people can do all the name calling they want, but it's not going to change anything. Tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're going to have the same arguments over again, and Monday's going to be the same way. It's just going to be the same carousel going round and round and round every day. The same old malarkey, the same old arguments, the same old accusations, and so on and so forth. And absolutely nothing is going to get done. So. Yeah, China, Russia, North Korea, they're all doing the happy dance right now because we are screwing ourselves. Um, yeah, we call each other names. We accuse each other of things that we didn't say or do. Call for executions and jail and everything else. And it's just, I look at the news every day and I go, what the ever living hell is going on with this world out there? We are willingly destroying ourselves for things that are not going to matter. I am 71 years old. I don't expect to be around more than 20 years if I survive that long. And, after I'm gone, and after a lot of people are gone, it's not going to matter. All this stuff that's being put out there isn't going to matter because we're going to be long gone and it's going to be somebody else's problem. People spend 10, 15, 20 hours a day on some of these uh, chat sites all across the political spectrum, arguing about things, uh, attacking each other, and so on and so forth, when it really doesn't matter. It, you know, it's worthless because we are not in a position to do anything. There are people out there with the power uh, to do what they want to do. The people with the big money, the people that are in political control and everything, they have the power. We have no power, no matter who we are. We're being led around by the powers to be. And whether we vote for this person, that person, doesn't matter. They're going to do what they want to do. That's been proven, this year especially. Yeah, that's that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. They're over there again, personal attacks. I don't see any discussion of child trafficking. I don't see any discussion of pedophilia, um, any of this stuff. It's all attacking people that disagree with what they talk about and call them out on their claims. And that's all they can do. Um, and it doesn't, the thing about it is they can sit there and say, oh, he's scared of Randy and blah, 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 blah. Doesn't make any difference. Number one, I'm not. And number two, all this yakima going over on this chat makes absolutely no difference. It's not going to accomplish a damn thing. Children are still being abused. Children are being used in pornography, and a lot of bad things are going on. And all anybody can do is argue with each other and call each other names. I mean, how is this rescuing children? How is this putting pedophiles in jail? How is this stopping human trafficking? It's not. All it is playing these mindless, childish little games, claiming things that are not true, and not caring what the result of their actions are. And these people claim they're Christian, yet they're violating the very tenets of the Bible that they claim to believe in. Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not bear false witness on thy neighbor, so on and so forth. They do none of this. They know that they are lying. They know that what they say is not true, what they claim is not true. And if there is a God, they are going to have to explain to their God why they lied. Because there's an old adage, you can lie to everybody on the earth, you can lie to the universe, but you cannot lie to God, because God knows when you are lying. And if you believe that someday you are going to come before God, you are going to have to explain to God why you did all these things under his name. And they apparently don't believe any of that. If they believed that God is going to make them accountable for their actions, they would stop. So they are proving day in and day out that they do not believe in God, that they are not the Christians they claim to be. Because if they were Christians, they would act like Christians. Simple as that. They do not tell the truth. They bear false witnesses. They scam people out of money. They claim things that they are not, and do it time and time and time again. And because of a certain political mindset that these people follow, everybody believes their lies. They can lie to their peers because there is no accountability, because their peers believe in what they are lying about. They can say, I support Lynn Wood, I support General Flynn, I support the former president, so on and so on and so forth. And if they say that and they say that they're a patriot and so on and so forth, then every lie that is told to their peers is believed simply because they're one of them. This is a pretty low standard of proof to be offering people. Now, when I say something or claim something on this channel, I don't say that because I am A, B, C, D that it's true. I provide, as best I can, proof to back up what I'm saying. If people don't want to believe what I say, that is their prerogative. It's their right to discount anything and everything that I say here. All I can do is put my case forward. Everyone out there is the ultimate juror. They can decide who they want to believe and what they want to believe. It's as simple as that. These people over there have a right to believe in what they want to believe. Whether they're right, whether they're wrong, they have that right. And all I ask is that I be allowed to state my case and not be attacked for it, and not have all these false accusations and personal attacks that are going on. And this calls for everyone else. Posting private photographs of people doesn't accomplish anything. They put up pictures of people, and I don't know what they get out of it. I could post pictures. I could go into all these different accounts out there and pull down pictures and post them. But what's it going to do? It isn't going to accomplish a damn thing. All you're doing is posting pictures of people. But this is the only thing they have. They do not have anything of substance. All they have is gossip, rumor, innuendo, and personal attacks. And it's the same. They put up the same pictures every day. This one individual in particular. And, so what? What's it accomplished? These pictures have been out there for a decade. And this particular individual has been reposting these pictures for several days. Even this evening, I think I've counted one picture he's posted, or she, a dozen times. It's the same picture over and over and over again. And it's funny because he'll say something in private chat, or he'll put a picture up and then it goes away. Well, that's a departure. He put up a picture that is political, But the thing of it is, he says he believes in things, yet he doesn't back it up. But, whenever somebody tells me they're a Christian and I watch the things that they say and do on the internet, I have a hard time believing these people are Christian because they don't act it. They act like they're very unchristian, especially when you attack people of a different religion like they're doing with the Jewish community. Their BitChute site has basically become a hate site. And so is Telegram. There's more anti-Semitism on Telegram and BitChute than any other place on the internet. And it's because of it, both of these websites, BitChute and Telegram, are on the Jewish Defense League watch list as a hate group. That nonsense came up again. And what's funny about this, I'm actually starting to drift into tomorrow night's topic, but that's fine, is that they are being called out for it. People are beginning to realize that this is recycled material, and they are, you know, calling them out, saying, "Can't you come up with something new?" And there's all kinds of criticism. Okay, I'm just checking. I like to check in from time to time. Well, no, that didn't work. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, it's if these people exercise the amount of energy into saving children that they do in doing all these lies, just think of what could be accomplished. You know, follow specific cases having to do with missing children. Follow it from gavel to gavel. The arrest of the individual, what he's accused of, how's the trial going, and what's the ultimate verdict. And if he's adjudicated guilty, what's the sentence going to be? They do none of this. This is what I plan on doing as we get down the road, is I am going to start following these cases, gavel to gavel, like I used to do with the Anthony case, to its ultimate resolution. Because one thing I have found, especially with Polk County, is they'll put up a thing where they've arrested 200 people or something like this in this thing, yet they never follow through. So you really never know what the punishment is that are given out to these people. So, it's, I basically am going to try and do what these people refuse to do. And that is actually cover these cases. Uh, when I'm able to, go to the court, live cover it, bring out the evidence, go walk through the process like I plan on doing with the two trials coming up, and basically just ignore these people because they're not doing their job. They're too busy over there engaging in gossip and not contributing anything at all to anything other than their own glad handing, cheerleading, and filling the coffers of their idols. Because that's in the end, that's ultimately what all this is about, is money. So I think I've said my piece for the night. I do appreciate you folks tuning in. We're going to struggle along as best we can here. Uh, I hope you enjoy Sunday tomorrow, as the remainder of the weekend is. I hope everybody's staying warm and safe. I know people up in the northern part of the country and out west to a degree are freezing right now because of this blizzard, snowstorm, whatever it is, that is out there. And I will be back on tomorrow to be more thorough on what in hell is going on out here on the Outer Limits. Because there's some interesting thing, and it will be on the other channel. It's going to be on the Task Force for Truth channel specifically, since this material is not going to be put on here. I'm trying to separate the two arenas of discussion so that I can keep this going. Hopefully, I can get it to a point where people can participate in the super chat. We can get in and we can get back into having people call into the show. And I'll be doing that in a different way. What I'll do is I'll invite people specifically through private discussion and then put you on the air that way, because this seems to be the only way to combat the kind of nonsense these idiots pulled the last time I put up a call-in link. We went from discussing current events in the news to this, I don't know what to call it. It was sheer nonsense. And these people just are extremely immature. And thanks for the promotion there, Laurie. And like I said, I will be on tomorrow, barring any technical difficulties. I had a heavy schedule on Friday, which precluded me from doing anything. Um, and so, okay, let me see what's going on here. Don't understand. I keep getting. Yeah, I guess Butterfly Mama's over there complaining. So, and our resident nuisance over there is um, posting irrelevant pictures. Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to provide as good of an experience for you guys as I'm able to. I have not been able to make much headway because a combination of factors, including a heavy schedule and these individuals' declared mission to have this channel shut down. They don't like this channel, they're terrified of it, and they're doing everything that they can to try and ruin it. And yet they make false claims and accusations, and yet they are doing exactly what they're claiming others are doing. So it's rather strange, but it's a strange world we live in. So, yeah, definitely subscribe to Levi Page. He has been in the true crime social media arena for years. He does an excellent job. Alex comes in and joins them, and it makes for a rather lighthearted experience. So, definitely do that. And send Alex Goddard get well messages in her Twitter and Facebook accounts. She just came out of surgery to try and solve a back pain problem she's had almost all her life. And I think from what she's been saying is she is on the road to a pain-free experience. And I applaud her for being able to combat this problem, because chronic pain is one of these things that can be so debilitating people just can't do anything. But in spite of all this, she has done quite an extraordinary job with her life. She got involved with Roll Red Roll and accomplished a great deal with that. She is still out there working hard, contributing to society, and that's where we're at right now. We've at least got somebody out there who is doing something. Boy, you could do a better job of rendering photographs. You can hardly tell who that is. It's extremely blurred. And I've seen the original to that picture. This moron over on the other channel is posting a picture that is very well known, and apparently they don't do a very good job of whatever it is they're doing over there, because it's just god-awful resolution. Reminds me of there was a camera that came out around 19 or yeah, it was 2002, 2003, and it had the worst resolution of the digital era because this is just the start of digital photography. And this picture uh, that was just posted on a private message is the just a terribly amateurish and incompetent photograph. Yeah, anybody could have done a better job than that. And, well, we're just having, it's like we're having a rerun season in illicit photographs here, stolen images, personal attacks, the kind of thing that can get you put in jail. But, we're not talking about honest people over on Telegram. The vast majority of people over on Telegram have criminal backgrounds. And that's what we're working with. We're working with a bunch of lying criminals committing all kinds of fraud and so on and so forth. So, amazing. Oh boy, it's funny to watch how unchristian people can be. And this one particular person that claims to be a patriot is probably the most unchristian individual I have ever seen. I would love to. Okay, now I'm getting sidetracked and it's not really doing the broadcast any good, so I'm gonna clock out. Thanks again, everybody. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share, and support the channel if you're willing to do so. And I will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. and we will have a discussion on the Task Force for Truth channel. So stay tuned for that. It should prove to be very interesting. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the chat. And thanks for the comments and everything. So, until we meet again, have a good one and good night.